The morning sun burned over the desert training camp as the platoon stood in formation. Dust hung in the air, and silence wrapped the courtyard until the sharp echo of boots broke it. General Morris strode forward, tall, cold, and furious. Before him stood Private Elena Ward, her uniform dirty from drills, her dark hair tied neatly beneath her cap. "You think rules don't apply to you?" the general barked. "I said regulation length. That hair violates every code in the book." Elena remained silent. Her calmness only made his anger boil hotter. The other soldiers glanced nervously at each other. Everyone knew the general's temper. He snatched the cap from her head. "You think being special makes you untouchable? Let's fix that." Without warning, he grabbed the scissors from the field medic's kit and began cutting her hair, rough, uneven snips, strands falling into the dust. Gasps rippled through the line, but no one dared move. Elena stood completely still, her eyes cold and unflinching. When he finished, the general tossed the scissors aside. "Maybe now you'll remember who's in charge here," he spat. The silence was deafening, but then, an approaching jeep screeched to a halt nearby. Out stepped a man in a black uniform bearing golden wings, Air Command insignia. The moment he saw Elena, he froze. "General Morris," the man said sharply, "what have you done?" Morris frowned. "Enforcing discipline. She broke regulations." The officer's voice rose. "Do you even know who that woman is?" Morris scoffed. "A disobedient recruit, that's who." The officer turned toward Elena and saluted, sharply, respectfully. The entire platoon watched in stunned silence. "Ma'am," the officer said, his voice low with awe. "Command has been trying to locate you for months. You're Commander Ward of the Ghost Division, aren't you?" Murmurs erupted through the ranks. The name hit Morris like a bullet. The Ghost Division, a legendary covert unit believed to be disbanded years ago, its members classified and identities erased. Elena finally spoke, her tone calm but edged with quiet steel. "I was, until I decided to train with the next generation, anonymously." Morris's face drained of color. You're that Commander Ward, the one from Operation Black Sky." She met his eyes. "The one who saved your division from being wiped out." The courtyard went dead silent. Every soldier now looked at her with new respect, and at the general with disgust. Elena brushed the uneven ends of her hair off her shoulder and said softly, "Rank isn't what defines a leader, General. Actions do. I hope you remember that." Then she turned and walked past him, the officer falling in step beside her, leaving the general frozen in place, the weight of his mistake sinking deeper with every step she took. The next morning, Camp Resolute buzzed with whispers. Every tent, every corridor, every mess table echoed the same stunned words, "She's the Ghost Division commander." Even the toughest sergeants spoke her name with quiet reverence now. General Morris sat alone in his office, staring at the strands of hair still clinging to his gloves. His reflection in the glass looked older, smaller. He replayed the moment over and over, her calm eyes as he humiliated her, her silent strength as he cut her hair. It wasn't just disobedience he'd seen, it was control. The kind he never had. A knock sounded at the door. "Enter," he muttered. Colonel Briggs, the officer from yesterday, stepped in with a sealed folder marked classified, level Omega. He placed it on the desk. "Orders from Central Command. You're to read this immediately." Morris opened it. His heart dropped as he read the first line. "Greater than, Commander Elena Ward, presumed Mia. Status reinstated as active duty. Under special authority. All personnel to render full cooperation and respect." Below that was her record. Missions wiped from history, commendations redacted, scars earned in operations that never officially existed. But one detail caught his eye, recipient of the Iron Eagle for saving 327 lives, including General Marcus Morris. His breath hitched. His name, his life. She'd saved him years ago, in that chaotic night raid in Rakhara, where an unknown operative had called in an airstrike just in time. He'd never known who it was. Until now. A shadow fell over the door. Elena stood there, hair cropped unevenly but eyes steady as stone. "You wanted to see me, General." He rose to his feet, guilt pressing down like armor. "Commander Ward, Private Ward," she corrected softly. "That's who I was when you punished me." He swallowed hard. "What I did was inexcusable. I'll accept any disciplinary action you recommend." She studied him for a long moment. "Discipline isn't the same as humiliation, General. You wanted obedience, not understanding. There's a difference." He nodded slowly, words failing him. Then, in a surprising motion, she reached into her pocket and placed her torn rank patch on his desk. "Keep it," she said. is a reminder that strength doesn't always salute. Sometimes it stands silent. Before he could speak, Colonel Briggs entered again. "Commander Ward, command requests your immediate presence at the airfield. The Ghostock is waiting." The room seemed to freeze. The Ghostock, a prototype stealth jet, once thought lost with her division. Elena gave a curt nod. Understood. She turned to leave. For the first time, Morris saluted her, not out of rank, but out of respect. Outside, as she walked toward the waiting aircraft, soldiers lined the path in silence. Not by order, by choice. And when the Ghostock roared to life and lifted into the sky, every soldier knew they'd witnessed something that would be told in hushed tones for generations. The legend they tried to punish had just taken flight again.